Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show with me, Kavita Thapliyal, and we move on. And before we connect with our other guest of the day today, despite heightened volatility in Indian markets, the confidence of retail investors continues to be strong. Data released by the Association of Mutual Funds for the month of March showed growing investor confidence in the markets. Now, investment via systematic investment plans or SIPs topped rupees 14,000 crore mark for the first time ever. The SIP contribution for March came in at rupees 14,276 crore compared with rupees 13,686 crores in Feb. Similarly, net inflows into open-ended equity jumped 31% to rupees 20,000. 534 crores at a one-year high during March. So that was the AMFI data that's just back, but then that just came on today, and we'll discuss more about this on the show going ahead. But let's talk about accumulating 10 crores in 10 years. The biggest goal of any investment is to grow one's wealth to earn the maximum possible returns. The larger the returns, the better it is for an investor. Now, what if you invest 10 lakhs today and grow it into 10 crores in 10 years? It may sound like a Herculean task, but our next guest, that is Piyush Chandra, Head Mutual Fund Products, IIFL Securities, believes it's possible. Let's welcome him on board and understand what's the maths behind this particular goal. So, hi, good evening, Piyush. And so 10 crores in 10 years, investable amount 10 lakhs if possible. Can we do it?
Good evening, Kavita. Practically, it is impossible to grow 10 lakh rupees investment today and with an investment horizon of 10 years and make it 10 crore. It is practically impossible because if you look at the calculation, even if one does an SIP every month uh, for 10 years at a 12% CAGR return, the SIP amount would be 4,35,000 per month, right? And in next and he has to continue this SIP for next 10 years. And if I look at something like a 10% kind of a average return from the market, the SIP amount for that amount will be 4,85,000. So to say to invest 10 lakh rupees for 10 years and to make it 10 crores is practically impossible.
All right. So now let's keep the target of 10 crores in 10 years. And what's the investable amount? 4 lakh per month. That's what you said.
If I calculate it, in three parameters. One is if I calculated 12% at 12% CAGR return, which is the historical return which Nifty has given. So the investment amount per month is around 4,35,000. If I look at at a 10% kind of a CAGR return for a little conservative client, it will be 4,85,000. But I'm actually, if I'm looking at something with a 8% kind of a CAGR return, wherein the client is actually very conservative, then I'm looking at something like 5,50,000 to be invested every month.
Piyush, let's talk about the investment mix that will be needed to achieve this particular goal. An aggressive equity strategy?
So I would, it would actually depend on the investor and the risk appetite that it has. To to just to discuss this investment strategy or the wealth creation journey, I would like to divide this conversation in three important points. First is strategies that one should look at for building long-term wealth. Second, it should be how one should invest in the market. And third, and most important, something that needs to be avoided or things one shouldn't do in wealth creation journey. So to begin with, first, let's look at strategies that one should have to build long-term creation, long-term wealth. Is firstly, the investor should have a clear investment objective. As in, in the case that we're discussing, let's say my investment objective is 10 crores in 10 years. So I should have a very clear investment objective. Obviously, I shouldn't look at short-term returns because they can be volatile. And most importantly, I just shouldn't pull out money, as and when required, because the easiest thing in financial instrument is because they are very liquid. People tend to withdraw money as and when they required. So that is a complete no. Obviously, starting early and staying invested, helps. and review your portfolios, on a very periodic basis, and rebalance the portfolio accordingly. So that, and I think that are the key investment mantras to build long-term wealth.
Quickly, if we want to talk about an equity exposure and within market caps, one should be going heavy in large and mid cap. Obviously, the strategy would change over time, looking at the market condition and the portfolio condition right now at that time, the exposure. What can one start with? What kind of an exposure one can start with? Heavy on large caps?
Obviously, if I am looking out for an aggressive return, I need to be aggressive while investing. So mid caps stroke small caps, will have a historically, mid caps have given better returns as compared to large caps. So my portfolio has to be mid cap heavy. But having said that, it would entirely depend on the risk appetite of the person. My simple submission to every, all the investors, even when I advise, is buy good businesses, and not stocks or portfolios. Because if you own good businesses over a period of time, when these businesses become big, obviously you know the profitability of the business when it increases, the share price is a long-term slaves of the earnings of the company. So obviously your wealth will enhanced or increased over a period of time. uh, and stay invested for long duration, because in longer terms, with 10 years, 15 years, 20 years investment, the compounding works its magic, and that is very, very critical to for us to understand. If I can just give you a very small example, if let's say if I have invested 10 lakh rupees today, if with a 15% kind of a CAGR return, my money almost doubles in 4.5 5 years. So 10 becomes 20, and this 20 will become 40 in next, in next 4.5 5 years, and that 40 will actually become 80 in next 4.5 5 years. So if I have a horizon of 14 15 years, my 10 lakhs is actually becoming 80 lakhs. And that is the kind of power of compounding magic that we are talking about.
Exactly. So, and that's exactly the roadmap if you want to become a crorepati, and that too in 10 years. Thank you so much, Piyush, for being on the show today and helping our viewers with that. We'll take a quick break, but then post that, we are going to solve your financial portfolio queries with Arnab Pandya.